Rated R. Due to the nature of this content, strong discretion is advised.
The voice has been digitally altered
to protect the innocent. My father and my grandfather are both 32nd degree Freemasons, sublime prince of the royal secret. I was invited to join the Brotherhood, but I declined. I am also related to President Andrew Jackson. His motto was, "I killed the bank." He is the only U.S. president to bring our deficit to zero. So patriotism flows in my blood. And like most Americans, as we watched the towers fall, it broke our hearts. I wanted to buy an American flag and stand on the corner and fly it high, but I couldn't even find one anywhere. They were all sold out. And I wanted to hang every one of those evil hijackers. Then somebody close to me told me about an evil conspiracy, and I laughed out loud and told him they'd been watching way too many movies. But he made a few good points, so I wanted to prove him wrong. And so began my research, and I can tell you it's based on conspiracy facts, not conspiracy theory. This documentary makes the Da Vinci Code look like a child's play toy. And you will not see this on the major networks because they're owned by the same people. And there are a lot of good conspiracy videos out there, but none of them take it to the level that I take it to. And if you're a real American like me, you'll want to know the truth. This video may disturb and shock your beliefs, and that's why they say the truth hurts. Facts are like pieces of a puzzle. When you put enough of them together, they form a picture, and sometimes an elaborate masterpiece. And from the chaos and the unknown, we get a clear, detailed picture. I figured I mastered the world of wine, and rubbed shoulders with legends. I even mastered the deadly art of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. So when I research something, I want to make sure I have a clear understanding so I get to the bottom of it. So I began to study things like etymology is the study of the origins or roots of words. The etymology of etymology is study of true meaning. Numerology is the study of numbers. Symbology is the study of symbols, the obvious and the hidden meanings. And gematria is the relationship between numerical values and the alphabet. Alchemy, transformation or transmutation, to separate and to join together. Geometry means earth measure. Astronomy means star law, law of the cosmos. Astrology is the study of the stars and planets. And astrotheology is the study of stars and planets as gods. I also study the ancient mystery religions like the Kabbalah. Esoteric knowledge is hidden knowledge. I also use common research materials like the dictionary, the encyclopedia, actual government documents, and even the Bible, to name a few. But it was my research into the dark arts like Wicca, witchcraft, magic, and sorcery. And then the picture became clear. And all roads lead us back to ancient Jewish mysticism, because they're behind secret societies like the Freemasons and the Skull and Bones. Adam Weishaupt of the Illuminati, and these are the same groups that structured our governments. Religions, governments, and Satanists all use the same symbols. So ask yourself, why? Ask yourself why all flags of the world use the same symbols. They use chaos theory to pit us against one another. They want us to choose sides, when really we're all the same humans with the same wants and needs. So who starts all these wars? Nobody wants war and death, but somebody somewhere is pushing the buttons for war. But humans are a social species and prefer to get along than fight. Ask yourself why beating the shit out of each other is the biggest sport in the world. It's been outlawed since the Roman times, and for good reason. They slowly condition you. In the 1800s, they started with catch wrestling, and it moved on to boxing. And from boxing, we move on to the deadly art of full contact fighting. Punches, kicks, elbows, and chokes. Now everyone across the world wants to be a UFC champion, slowly desensitizing you. And just like during the Roman times, the next step is fighting to the death. Think about it. If you heard that these two fighters wanted to fight to the death, you'd be the first one to sit there and watch. And think about the millions and millions of children that watch the UFC. They'd want to see it too. Just as the Roman Empire did. And bar fights are dramatically on the rise, spreading violence and hatred, human against human, brother against brother, making you think you're cool if you're evil. The aggression builds up so high, they just want to kill each other. And they're teaching millions and millions of children to do the same, fighting each other just to be cool. They are also using video games to spread hate and violence, because the most popular games that kids play show gore, guts, blood, and killing each other, teaching our children to relish in evil debauchery and death. And that's why there's a huge fad of death shirts. I took my 8-year-old boy shopping, and almost 90% of the shirts had skulls on them. And of course you can't look anywhere without seeing the pentagram. And I know I don't need to tell you about satanic rock and roll and death metal, sick debauchery and worshiping death. And of course gangster rap is spreading death, hatred, and murder. And just think about how many horror flicks satanic Hollywood produces, spending billions and promoting satanic murder. Hollywood teaching our kids about witchcraft and sorcery. Young teens idolizing their heroes, blind to the satanic symbolism hidden within, using black magic to put spells and hexes on people, and teaching the children the power of the dark side. Not to mention the trillions that have been killed in wars. I'll show you how it's a modern-day pagan sacrifice to their gods. A modern-day necropolis worshipping the dead. The Egyptians worshipped Osiris, god of the dead. All the ancient civilizations worshipped the death god. Just like the British, English, and pirates of the 16 and 1700s. Even on churches from the 1600s. Just like Hitler and the SS Death's Head. And the Order of Death lives on in the Skull and Bones with US President. His father and other members of the family served the order as well. Here you see the Freemasonic apron of the Skull and Bones. And here is our first president, George Washington, using and hiding the secret Skull and Bones. A master mason ring showing the Skull and Bones. Arnold's dad was a Nazi. Here he is with the Skull and Bones. Even the Holy Vatican is part of the Order of Death. Here they are worshipping the skull and showing you the Skull and Bones, trying to get millions and millions to worship death and blood. And that's why Jesus was sacrificed at Golgotha, place of the skull. And that's why the Bible tells you he is the firstborn of the dead, indoctrinating our children to worship death. So the Catholic Church and the Christian Church are just another form of a secret society. Even the skull of Mary Magdalene is in the crypt below the basilica, the elite of the world, worshipping death. And necrophilia, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Using the media like the History Channel, showing you over and over about the ancient human sacrifices. The ancient order of death, showing you the skull and crossbones. This picture from 1870 shows you the KKK is part of the order of death as well. Just like the order of the Skull and Bones, and just like the order of Book and Snake, the order of death even started the Hell's Angels. And it seems like everybody wants a skull and bones tattoo. It's everywhere you look. And the Order is also behind satanic witchcraft. The Order finances Hollywood's satanic movies, used as propaganda to spread the obsession with skulls. And as always, the Order of Death targets children. You'll see the skull and bones in all popular cartoons for children, from The Simpsons, SpongeBob, and even Mickey Mouse, brainwashing our children since the early 30s. And of course, Disney is behind the Pirates of the Caribbean, showing you the blatant skull and bones, causing millions and millions of children to idolize the skull and bones. Because Walt Disney is part of the Order as well. He's a 33rd degree Freemason, and that's why he has Club 33. By invitation only, just like the 33rd degree Freemasons. And that's why all Disney films have innocence, evil, magic, and romance, which is really pedophilia, Satanism, witchcraft, and sex, showing kids to fear and see the power of the dark side. I could make a whole video showing you Disney debauchery and Satanism and pedophilia. Not to mention the mind control, forcing drugs upon innocent children. Everyone already knows that Alice in Wonderland is about the Amanita muscaria magic mushrooms. And when the psychedelic drugs begin to take effect, she starts to trip out. And she thinks the plants and animals are talking to her. You see Walt Disney with Werner von Braun, the Nazi. And Walt's true nature comes through. He was quoted as saying, "You're dead if you aim only for kids." Sex offenders always surround themselves with other people's children. So look a little deeper and see the real meaning behind Disney shows. And by the way, Walt Disney dedicated Disneyland on the night of the Black Moon of Death. To the Gentiles, it's just an innocent movie. But to those who know, there's a whole hidden meaning. They both have the satanic horns, known as the Horned Beast. Scully and Elle, green for fertility. They're chasing around the innocent little girl, Boo. But Boo is a reference to a girlfriend or a sex partner, a monster in a little girl's room. And just ask yourself, is that his Boo? And the five-eyed monster represents the Rothschild brothers, the banking dynasty who worships Elle, combining Elle with the Rand Corporation. And Elle is the fertility planet of Saturn. Elle is the ancient The one-eyed monster is everywhere. Even Plankton is the one-eyed evil monster. Hollywood's been using the one-eyed monster for years. And of course, the one-eyed symbolism is found on the skull and crossbones. The evil one-eyed pirate. And of course, Arnold is in on the secret of the one eye, just like the back of our Illuminati seal, and the Egyptian mythology of Ra, the sun god. This ancient Sumerian tablet shows the one-eyed sun god fighting sin, and they still use the one-eyed symbolism in religions today. And we all know the one-eyed wink implies a secret message. Even one-eyed Popeye gets power from the green fertility. Peter Pan has the one-eyed symbolism as well. And you'll notice in the background the skull and bones. And of course, he's sneaking out the innocent underage girl. He sneaks her out at midnight without the parents knowing, encouraging little girls to do the same. Here we have Wendy on her knees and Peter on the bed with his hand on his pipe. But take a close look at his shadow. His hand is down at his Peter, or his pipe. Peter Pan holds his log as Wendy takes a ride. And when you have good sex, it's like flying high in the clouds. And that's why he promises to take her to Neverland. In Greek mythology, the evil Pan rapes and molests children. So why does Disney use this ancient Greek fertility god in its movies? Now you know why Peter Pan is with the Lost Boys. The evil satanic elite love to use children in their films. Pan's perverted ways are known for putting panic and fear into people. The pentagram represents the satanic beast known as the goat head, also known as the Baphomet. The pentagram in Latin means 5 send or 5 invoke. The pinnacle or star comes from the Babylonian goddess Ishtar. The inverted pinnacle is known as the satanic pentagram, used in satanic occult rituals. And of course the Freemasons use the satanic pentagram, and you'll find it on the Church of the Latter-day Saints. The satanic pentagram is embedded in D.C. and pointed to the White House. To the ancient Jews and many Satanists, it represents Lilith, the demon goddess, and the satanic horned beast. And if you use any of these hand signs, it really represents the horned beast. The Church of Satan uses the horned beast sign. Rock and roll and death metal use it. And you'll see the rich and famous use it as well, from the performers to the politicians, corporate leaders, and the royal elite. And especially the President of the United States uses the horned beast symbol all the time. He even has the crowd using it. The blind sheep of the world praising the satanic horned beast, giving power to the satanic goat head. And that's why Bush was reading the book about My Pet Goat on 9/11. And of course, once again, it involves innocent little children, blind to the satanic goat head dressed in sheep's clothing. And like I said before, pedophiles always surround themselves with other people's children. He's fondling and kissing the poor innocent little children, just like the occult leader Adolf Hitler. Innocent little children holding the hands of a satanic devil. And everyone knows about the Roman Catholic child sex abuse, destroying innocent lives. Innocent little children putting their faith in these predators. In fact, the Roman Catholic Church has paid multi-millions of dollars to settle child abuse cases. In LA, over 500 victims reached a $660 million settlement. The lawsuits are staggering, with literally thousands of victims. In the United States alone, almost every major city has a lawsuit. Almost every country in the world has a Roman Catholic child abuse lawsuit. And everyone knows about the satanic pedophile Michael Jackson. He surrounded himself with his obsession, little children. He was quoted as saying that it's okay to sleep with other people's children. The predator paid off his victim with millions of dollars. So now you know the meaning behind the song Just Beat It. And you see his loyalty is in the satanic goat head, the horned beast. He built Neverland because pedophiles will go to extremes to attract innocent little children. And the intentions for building Disneyland are no different. Designed as an evil castle to attract children, with evil themes to scare kids. You can see the similarity between the two pedophiles using cute items to attract children. And both of them have statues with their special friend. Here's Walt closely holding someone else's daughter. These two have a lot more in common than you would think. Rock music also promotes pedophilia, and they advertise it blatantly on the covers. And there is not just a few examples. There are hundreds of examples of album covers promoting pedophilia, and the level to the Beatles in the 60s. Here they are with bloody body parts and a decapitated baby. And all these albums are produced and promoted by the satanic music industry. Warner Brothers was founded on the night of the Black Moon of Death.